Hey, hey, welcome back, guys. All right, Aries, let's take a look at what has kind of been murky, but might be coming forward and being a little bit more clear now. We have desert dreams. Oh, I love this one. All right, so desert dreams, first off, if you've ever been out to the desert, the sky watching is amazing. You get into a nice dark area and you can see the whole Milky Way. Um, so first off, I feel like we're having some really clear visions, clear dreams. Now, I will say this also. This makes me think that Aries could literally be picturing like a very open landscape where they can see in all directions. So right now, if Aries is a visionary, they could be having like really important dreams right now that are speaking to them. That could be how their guides are coming in. You see the birds around her on this yucca plant. Um, but it's also like there's a lot of details. Okay, if you look at her incredible outfit, I want this dress so badly. I can taste it. Um, but if Aries is getting a lot of detailed information, their mind could be very active late at night, whether they're half awake, half totally in the dream state, whatever it is. I feel like Aries has highly detailed um like thoughts going through their head, coming from their subconscious, but I feel like it's how their guides are trying to say, hey, listen, don't give up on something. Remember that the desert is filled with life, but the desert is a very extreme place, right? Extreme heat, extreme dry, and then when there's water, it's extreme amounts of water. And a few sprinkles of water can make things bloom and blossom. You can have those gorgeous super blooms in the desert, and you didn't even know that there were flowers or anything there because everything is so dormant. Or you can have those terrible floods. There's the desert is extreme and yet very beautiful. And if the desert is like a landscape for life or metaphor for life, is that we have a lot of wonderful ideas that we have buried just under the surface. And if we were to give those ideas, those dreams of ours, just a little sprinkle of water, we could bring them into full glorious color and see them bloom. So I really think that right now, this is almost like a great time maybe for Aries to start paying attention to their gifts, their ideas. If they're a visionary, if they have many, many thoughts going through their head about stuff they'd like to do, things that they'd like to blossom in, things that they'd like to grow in their life, it's like this could be a great time for them to like really go ahead and grab a hold of that and then bring it into the forefront. Now we do have this Page of Swords, and I almost think that I think Aries keeps walking by things in their life and they're inspired by things. And I think that Aries may have some brilliant ideas. I think that they're paying attention and absorbing things in their environment more than what Aries realizes. And I think if they go, okay, wait a second, why did those things stand out to me? Why do I keep encountering this or that? Why did I bump into that one person? Oh, we got a King of Cups in the reverse. If Aries has, because I feel like there's two things going on for Aries. There may be someone who is not been very loving. There could be somebody who's been jealous or continues to be jealous of Aries. This could be an ex. This could be a colleague, coworker, whatever. I say pay them, never mind. But somebody knows Aries is on the cusp of a big breakthrough or has these great ideas. Aries is noticing all kinds of either jealous streaks emanating from this King of Cups. And again, what I think this is testament to Aries is amazing. If this is like somebody who's kind of like low-key jealous of Aries, it's because Aries is looking amazing, doing amazing, super talented, more so than even maybe Aries themselves has paused and looked in the mirror to pay attention and see just how great they are. So first off, I think Aries should pause and take a good look. I think Aries is super attractive and they don't recognize that. So we could have somebody that's just a little bit, like jealous because Aries looks fantastic. Then we couple it with some kind of like sparks of amazing ideas. Because I think Aries is looking beautiful because their mind is really active and they're really creative and they're kind of at their best. I think like Aries skin might be glowing. Aries might be particularly alluring. You know how talents and ideas, and when we're in like any kind of like awakened state, it's pretty cool to see somebody like interested and living their best life and thinking about all kinds of stuff, and it makes you vitally alive, and that is inherently attractive. And I'm feeling like Aries is both like drawing people's attention, but it's because they're busy generating ideas in their own life. And I really think this is like a huge glow up or growth pattern, but Aries is too busy in the midst of this thought process that they're going through, this inspirational process that they're in, to notice, why are people looking at me? I'm paying attention to different things in my own life, but I feel like Aries has bumped into somebody that's really drawn to them. Maybe Aries themselves has bumped into someone that they too have paid attention to. I feel like there's going to be a lot of details in Aries' life to pay attention to. And this is what the guides are trying to say. Aries, you've got these visions, these dreams, these things that you want to do. You're going to be encountering people who will be helpful. You're going to be encountering, like, okay, let me give a scenario. Oh, wow. Okay. Two of Cups, Ace of Cups. Hang on. I've been thinking of this less as love, even though I kind of figured we may have like an ex who's a little bit jealous or a colleague that's a little bit jealous. But I was going to give a scenario not love related at all, yet we have love here. But let me still finish with what I was going to say, because this could all still be interwoven. Let's say Aries is in a particularly, brilliant and inspired state in their mind right now. Let's say Aries is, when we get excited and we're more colorful and then we dress more colorfully and we kind of, I feel like Aries could be quite the artist. I feel like they could be someone who, has maybe a very unique kind of art. I'm picturing somebody that does like mosaic work or things where they would bring lots and lots of color and patterns in. And let's just say that in their work, they are gaining some traction and people are noticing them. They could catch the eye of somebody who is, very interested in buying a piece of art or something like that. Or they simply are gaining, like when you're at your best and you're doing the thing you were born to do and you're doing the thing that you have talent for, people turn and they notice, and it's like, man, who is that person? That person's like, they're somebody, are you famous? Are you, you stand out. And it's because of that, like you're doing the thing you were born to do. And I feel like that's what Aries is doing in their life right now. And so they're catching the attention of someone who's drawn to them, both probably because like, I want to know more about that amazing Aries. Who is that person? But I almost feel like we've got this King of Cups who's like, why are they looking at you? Why are they noticing you? This isn't, how come this person who could also be influential or famous or whatever, they may be interested in Aries, and that is stirring up jealousy in somebody else. I don't want you to notice Aries. I want Aries to notice me. It really feels like that, but now we couple it with whomever this Page of Swords is. This is somebody who is going to be approaching Aries, but with reverence, respect, attraction, in this case, love. This is somebody who's going to try to get Aries to open up the door to their heart to them. Now it makes sense why that King of Cups is jealous. It's just so interesting because I feel like this happens not because Aries is out there flirting around actively looking for a romantic partner, but because Aries is being urged by their guides. Pay attention to your talents, your dreams, your skills. Bring all of your skills together. If you're a visionary and you've got plans to build something, make something, live your best life, do your art, find your hobby, do the thing that you are so talented in, because that is going to be what attracts somebody who will really admire Aries for the authentic skill set that makes Aries their own unique self, right? We all have our own inherent gifts and talents, but I really think that the more Aries explores who they really, really are and what their gifts and talents are, that is so hot to whomever this is. This Two of Cups person, they could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, doesn't have to be. They could also be a water sign, does not have to be. But that draws attraction. I keep seeing all these colors, and I get like a very Spanish artwork, Southwestern vibe here. There's something just so, and then here it looks like Greece to me as well. Here we have like Parisian. Here we have kind of Old West. So I don't know. We have a lot of crisscross of cultures, perhaps. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Knight of Wands upright. I definitely feel like there's two different knights here. I'm going to attribute that kind of pissed off King of Cups who's like, no, you should notice me, Aries, as the person. Somebody may do something a little embarrassing trying to gain Aries' attention. I mean, maybe they're going to find an excuse to take off their shirt so that Aries can see their abs. It feels like somebody wants Aries to want them. Meanwhile, this other person who's attracted to Aries, I feel like Aries is going to have unexpected attention coming toward them, is what this says. And this is maybe something Aries is going to be like, what? There's nobody around me. Nobody's trying to catch my attention. Yeah, but this is like emerging out of the murkiness. I think it could be almost a quirky, strange, like Aries is like, okay, this is so weird. I swear, I think this person's flirting with me. Yet they are actually in no uncertain terms. This is the timeline jump. This is somebody who's not going to waste any time. This person who spots Aries, they may cross the street just to walk up to Aries to try to ask Aries out because they see Aries wearing some amazing outfit. And it could be a day where Aries is just, happy, excited. Maybe they've been up all night thinking about, inspiring ideas for their art or their business or whatever it is. They're just kind of at their best, dreaming big, picturing the things that they want to do. And I feel like it's making Aries just so beautiful, so attractive. We're always attractive when we have an idea of something wonderful that we just want to do in our life, something that we care about, that makes us sexy when we have our own, goals and dreams, and we're happy and we're kind of filled with light. That seems to be what captures this person. And I feel like they see Aries from a bit of a distance, and they may scurry over to ask Aries, start to flirt with Aries, ask Aries out, whatever this is. They don't want to let Aries get away. This person seems like a stranger who is kind of smitten by Aries all of a sudden. And it's so wild because we have somebody else very jealous to witness this. And they're going to try, this second person is going to try very hard to be like, I'm hotter. Aries should notice me. And it could be a stunner. This could be very weird because I don't see Aries trying to get anybody's attention. And yet there's going to be two people suddenly vying for Aries. With the Temperance here and the Knight of Swords, it'll behoove Aries to stay like real centered and grounded for sure. But remember, I think all this is happening at once in like a blur. I feel like this is going to be a very weird moment for Aries to have somebody overreacting, maybe trying to take off their shirt, maybe trying to do something to gain Aries' attention. And it does feel like it's going to be a total like ego thing. They could come on a little too strong. They could try to suddenly start flirting. And it's like, I'm sorry, who are you? Or why are you leaning in, trying to get my number while I'm talking to somebody else? It just feels like this person has a little bit more of a connection to Aries somehow, but they've never made their move up until now, up until they see somebody else approaching Aries. Look, I like this one. I like this person, this stranger who seems to cross a street or something just to come up and talk to Aries. But it does feel like this could be, a colleague or somebody who suddenly shows a flare of territorial, like, look at me. I don't want you flirting with Aries. Aries is kind of like supposed to care about me. Have you seen my abs? It just feels like that. But if Aries handles things with, grace, Aries very well may just say, actually, I'm really delighted for the attention, but I actually have to go. Thank you both. I've got to get back to my work, my hobby, my talent, my job, whatever this is. And I feel like Aries just kind of like graciously scurries away. That's how that looks to me. And Aries could be blushing. It could be a little bit of a weird moment, but it says stay grounded at the same time. Aries does have to decompress from this and go back and think about it. Look, I don't know if Aries wants either of these people, because this was more, we started out with Aries just thinking about what they wanted for their life. And then we have these two potential suitors coming in out of nowhere. Three of Pentacles. Aries might determine, I don't think I want to be with anybody right now. Me and my guides were talking over here about this business that I wanted to start, or my next piece of art that I want to pursue. Okay, universe, do you have one message for this Aries? Because I do feel like I understand how this could be a bit overwhelming for our Aries, because this is so out of left field is what this feels like. Like Aries is going to have a great day and then it's going to get real weird. 10 of Swords in the reverse, Hermit in the reverse. The universe is just saying very gently and nudging Aries just a little bit, saying, it's okay if you think that you don't want to deal with anyone, but assess for just a moment. You're not actually wounded or hurt, and it's not really overwhelming to think that people would want to be around you when you're a wonderful person. And even here, if you look closely, we got two ships going round and around. Look, Aries is very unique. They are the mermaid in this case. This is the Hermit card, but there's those two suitors again. And it kind of is like this gentle encouragement that says, hey, Aries, it's fine if you don't want somebody, but just don't run away from the fact that people find you very alluring. You are really special. And so if you genuinely want to be alone, that's fine. But just know you're not actually wounded or hurt. There's no reason for you to be on a dark night on the soul journey. And sometimes it's nice to realize that there are wonderful people that will be attracted to you. Not everyone will be attracted to you that you'll want, but you're going to be sought after. And so you maybe need to get a little bit comfortable with that. And on the other hand, it could be very nice. I mean, we actually have somebody who looks at Aries as, I'm really drawn to this Aries. I'd really like to see if I can, flirt with them, talk to them, get them to maybe go on a date with me. Somebody wonderful is quite smitten with Aries. And granted, somebody else is quite jealous about Aries. But it's just this gentle nudge that says, why would you choose to be totally by yourself? I mean, you can, but why? You have a lot to share. Look, Aries can do whatever they want. It just simply is a reminder that Aries, you're very beautiful, you're very handsome, you're very attractive, you have a lot to offer. So people are going to want to be around you. That's really what that message is all about. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs